AITA for saying no when my husband's sister asked me to cook after she ran out of money. About 6 weeks ago my husband's sister and her 3 kids came to stay with my husband and me. His sister was involved in an accident and upon the release from the hospital needed some help with some stuff, and so we welcomed her and the kids into our home with our kids. She was in a wheelchair for the first few weeks until her left arm was okay again, but her leg and foot have been taking some time. Even during that time it was frustrating. I would consult with her on meals to prepare, but I have 2 kids with allergies, so that needs to be taken into account, and I was not going to start cooking multiple meals. We would agree on something after a lot of back and forth, and then she and the kids would complain that it was not what they wanted, and then after the first few days she started ordering takeout after I had already started cooking, had cooked the food, instead of just saying she did not want what I was doing. And so then we had food going to waste. My husband confronted her on it and she said she would not do it again and apologized. Then last week it all came to a head. I had decided to cook her youngest's favorite meal for their birthday, which she knew about and had said thank you for, and then sprung takeout on us and said that she had not wanted her kid to have a sucky dinner for their birthday. Cue me saying that was enough and she could worry about feeding her kids while I would worry about mine. Done. No big issue. I refuse to be disrespected like that though. Then yesterday she ran out of money and she asked if I would cook for them all again, and I told her I told her she disrespected me enough and wasted enough of my time and our money, and she could figure something out since I would hate for her to eat shit. She raged at me. Told me I was taking our issues out on the kids and how she is meant to be resting more than she was, so how dare I put her health at risk over petty fighting. We are family blah blah. I told her she should have thought of all this before deciding she could keep ordering stuff behind my back and then insulting my cooking, and she never had this issue before they moved in. She ended up calling her parents and they transferred money to her, but apparently they think I should have been a more gracious host too, and my husband's sister is basically saying I acted like an I am still so shocked at the nerve, but questioning if she is right. AITA. NTA. I can't believe she said that the dinner you were going to cook for the youngest was a sucky dinner. That's so rude. I am absolutely shocked that she comes into your home and has you guys look after her and then insults your cooking. It would be been fine if she was just ordering takeout and letting you know, but the fact that she arranges to eat with you and changes her mind last second is incredibly rude. She doesn't even offer you any. If I was a guest then I would be offering my host takeout as a thank you. Apparently they think I should be been a more gracious host. Well, according to the rules of the FI you have already fulfilled your host duties. She has shown disrespect, so she has broken her guest duties. It's that simple. Also, guaranteed she told her parents a different version of the story than what happened. I was thinking the last bit too. She probably twisted the story or forgot to mention some parts of it to make her look like the one in the right. Definitely NTAOP. Exactly. Coordinate family meals, order extra takeout and offer to buy groceries and do the cooking themselves once in a while are all things a gracious long-term guest would do. Frankly, we do not really discuss this, but there are 2 types of guest. There is a big difference. Hey, you should come visit us. The visit is for the host's benefit, and hey, can I stay with you when I get out of the hospital, because I still need care. The visit is for the guest's benefit. This is the latter, and why you still should not make this type of guest feel like a burden even though they are more work, because ideally they did do the same if the tables were turned. It is also on the guest to be respectful of the fact that the host is doing them a favor and to minimize the burden to what you actually need. Agreeing to a meal prepared by the host, then ordering takeout instead is absolutely not doing that. When you are wasting the host's time, effort, and money, it is perfectly reasonable for the host to get upset. NTA. Holy crap, talk about ungrateful. Damn, I would pack her up and send her to her mom. NTA. Why are you still hosting her? Tell her to go to her parents' house or something. She disrespected you more than once. NTA. Nope. And yeah, I did be shocked at that kind of behavior, too. Would not happen in my house. I did have stopped cooking the first time she wasted food. Somewhere along the line she developed an opinion of herself that is not backed up by the facts. The arguments she used are the kind of things you expect out of alcoholics and addicts when you confront them on their behavior. So something about this situation has warped her perspective. Maybe a bit PTSD after the accident, but that goes way beyond your responsibility to her. I did say the sooner this living arrangement changes to separate houses the better. And if the parents have such strong opinions about proper hosting graciousness, they can just take her into their home and see how they like it, based on her behavior. I did say it is lay down the law time she either eats what you cook, give her one more chance, no exceptions, no excuses, or you are done for good. I get the feeling your husband will back you up on this. NTA, she is living in your home and does not have the right to demand from you. Even more so after she insulted your cooking for her daughter's day and ordering behind your back, letting OP plan and prepare Nibbling's favorite birthday dinner, then undermining the effort and event with a repeat of her inconsiderate and rude boundary stomping is a deliberate slap in the face to OP. Sil is abusive, not just selfish and self-absorbed. I will bet she assaulted the earth in OP's relationship with the in-laws, too. NTA, but if she does not have money for takeout food, how is she going to have money for housing costs? Seems like this could become a much bigger problem. You need to set a deadline for her to get out. NTA, I was fully expecting, from the post title, to think you were top, and reading the beginning part of your post, where they are staying with you and she is recovering from surgery, even more so. And yet, reading on, she has managed the remarkable feat of behaving so awfully that I cannot remotely side with her. It really is impressive. Isn't it? I did the host a person after surgery thing just a few weeks ago. Gracious guest, gracious hostess. He was very grateful. If he'd acted like this, I'd have driven him home, set him up on the couch, and told him to call me when he was mobile enough to come get his car, and shit. That's still nicer than what this kind of behavior merited. NTA, a host can only be as gracious as their guest, and she has been blatantly disrespectful on more than one occasion. Plus, she agreed to stop ordering takeout behind your back, and then started doing it again. This is wholeheartedly unacceptable. Plus, if she is out of the wheelchair, then it is safe for her to go home and have her kids help her around the house. Just feeding 2 people can be expensive, let alone the small platoon you have in your home now. NTA at all. NTA, if your in-laws think you should have been a more gracious host, then maybe they should have taken Sil in, rather than expecting you and your husband to do it. If your husband thinks you Rihanna, maybe he should be the one cooking meals for his sister and niece's nephews. You invited her into your home, you've cooked and cleaned for her and have gotten zero appreciation. When things started getting out of hand, you set down ground rules, you each cooking for your respective children, and she agreed to it. Now that she's wasted all of her money, she wants to pretend that the last few weeks didn't happen. But what happens in a month when she has money again? The same stuff that has been happening since she moved in. It's honestly not worth the effort on your part, because no matter what you do, she's never going to appreciate it, and she'll always try to manipulate every situation so that she's the victim and you the villain. NTA, it blows my mind how family can say you aren't being a good host. They need to shut up and realize you aren't host her and the kids. You are going out of your way to care for them. Beggars can't be choosers. If she has such a problem with your cooking, then she can either decide to eat or not. It's not your problem. Anyone else who wants to make a negative comment about you, why in the FRNT they stepping up then to help? It sounds like she is milking the injuries to see how long she can get you to be her and her kid's caretaker and personal chef. NTA, the other commenters have my thoughts covered except for one. After being at your house 6 weeks, she is not a guest and you are not a host. However, she is a mooch and you're a sucker for not setting down some hard and fast rules expectations. It is just so actively hostile to order takeout when you are cooking for the family, and wildly presumptuous for her to think you are going to step in when she has mishandled her finances. Nice for her that she has got her parents to fall back on for money. Perhaps she and her children can stay with them, too. NTA, 100. I am sorry about her accident, but the sense of entitlement and mismanagement on her part, my goodness. NTA, also, Your in-laws have missed a key fact here. You are not actually a host in the etiquette sense. Your sister is not an invited guest. Your sister is a person in need who asked you for a huge favor and you graciously agreed to do it. The super gracious host rules apply to invited guests that you purposely invited over to your home for a specific time event. I am so sick of people thinking that person you are freeloading off of host you are entitled to freeload off them more and they are a jerk if they complain because rude. An actual guest would not be entitled to act this rude and continue to be a guest. Your sister-in-law is not an honored guest, she is, to put it harshly, a charity case right now. You are taking care of her out of your own decency, not because she earned or deserves it, not because etiquette dictates it. This is charity, a favor. She can suck it up and be grateful for the help you are still willing to give her, or admit she has waived all rights to your charity and get her butt out of there. Please subscribe.